Today, we are going to revitalize one of my old businesses that I had just sitting there for about a year and a half now. And I'm going to show you how to build a brand, or in this case, rebuild a brand from the ground up. I think a lot of entrepreneurs can relate when I say that you probably have one or two business ideas that are shelved somewhere. So like you had an idea and you got the domain, you built out the website, you have the product, you're really excited about it. And then the idea just sort of like fizzled out. And whether that's because there were financial constraints or there were time constraints or you just lost interest. And trust me, I get it. It's me. I've done it numerous times. So this is part one of my series, How to Build a Brand, where we're going to build a real brand together so you can see the process from start to finish. Okay, so here's a little bit of context. So at the end of 2024, I was still running my company, Little Navy, and then I started a new brand called Sweet Sunday. Now, Sweet Sunday was basically an idea that I had. I wanted to create a DIY Tabba Squishy kit. Basically, it was a kit that encompassed everything that you needed to create a Tabba Squishy. So all of the tools, the materials, the paints, the charms, all of it, and it came in a really cute container. Now, this was the first kit of its kind at the time. So we're talking 2024 when Tabba Squishies weren't even a thing. People didn't really know what it was. It was super popular in the Asian markets. So I got super excited. I built out the product. I got the logo. I got the website. I applied for all my trademarks, and then it just stopped. Well, it didn't stop. I stopped. Not because I didn't think that the product was good enough, and I still think that is an amazing product. I just didn't have time, and here's why. So in early 2025, I put the feelers out that I wanted to sell Little Navy. I got an offer pretty immediate, and then that whole acquisition process of selling my business took about 10 to 12 months. So, and if you've ever sold a business, you know how onerous and how time-consuming all of it is. So while my life was being consumed with the acquisition of my other company, Sweet Sunday just sat there. The website was done, the product was done, the YouTube channel was started, the trademarks were filed, and I did absolutely nothing. And I'm pretty sure this is the default setting for a lot of people who start businesses. They get really excited in the moment, they get everything done, and then they just sort of leave it. And honestly, this happens to a lot of entrepreneurs, whether you're running out of funding or you're running out of time or you just lose your energy or maybe you just don't know what to do next. And now that I'm helping other small businesses and entrepreneurs build out their brands, I had this idea. Why not, instead of teaching business strategy and how to build a brand and brand strategy, why don't I show the whole process in real time? So that's what this series is. I'm going to rebuild Sweet Sunday from scratch. I'm going to take a look at the strategy, the positioning, the content, the audience, the voice, the launches, the visuals, all of it. So in this video, we're going to run Sweet Sunday through a brand audit, and we're going to take a look at where the gaps are in my brand strategy to see what's working and what isn't. So I'm going to be using our in-depth brand audit, which is available as a free downloadable on my website. I'll link it in the description if you wanted to audit your brand too. Now, one thing that I've learned after building a couple of successful businesses is that businesses don't fail because of the product, they fail because the brand is not clear. And that's exactly what this brand audit is going to help uncover. Is the brand positioning clear? Do we know exactly who this is for? And does the product communicate its value? If there's one thing that I've learned after building a few companies, is that most brands don't fail because the product or the idea is bad. They fail because the strategy or the brand isn't clear. And this is exactly what the audit is going to help us to uncover. So I'm looking for things like, is the brand positioning clear? Do we know exactly who this is for? Does the product communicate its value instantly? And right away, I can see some gaps. The product itself is interesting, but the brand foundation is not clear. The story isn't clearly defined, and I haven't been able to clearly articulate what makes this product unique. Which means that if somebody lands on my website today and sees my product, they're not going to understand why it matters or why it's different. And this is exactly what we're going to fix in this series. Because before you start worrying about your logo, your packaging, your marketing, you need to nail the brand foundation first. So if you're a small business owner or an entrepreneur who's had some sort of an idea that's been sitting on the shelf for a while, or you want to learn more about how to build a brand from start to finish, this series is for you. So make sure to like and subscribe to this series so you don't miss the next one. We are going to cover brand foundation, and that is your vision, your mission, and your values. Okay, I'll see you in the next one.